What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City Life Project YouTube channel for yet another live UFC predictions video, preview predictions, and breakdown video. If you're new to the channel, smash that like button, subscribe. We are going to be hosting live fight companions this weekend, every weekend, folks, and we also drop MMA content throughout the week, as well as other content as well. So if you're new to the channel, welcome to the community. We're happy to have you here. If you're new to these live streams, to these UFC prediction video live streams, we go through a chunk of the card, then we go to the comments. So we go through a chunk of the card, then we go to the comments. If I just read through your comments, folks, throughout these live streams, we wouldn't get through a single prediction. So that's how we're going to do this here. If you notice that I'm not reading your comment live, just be patient or comment it again. I promise I will get back to it. What's up, Fishing with H? What's up, Hernan? What's up, Sis? Good to see you guys. Let's jump to the first few fights here. And as you guys know, we will get back to your comments here in just a moment. Volcan, what's going on, buddy? Big shout out to the exclusive members as well. Sis, Hernan, longtime viewers, Fishing with H, and former exclusive member and big time supporter Volcan as well. Again, guys, if I don't read your comments live, that's for the fight companions. I do them there. Here, I'll get back to your comments in just a moment. What's up, Hank the Tank? It's great to see you. Yeah, no worries, Volcan. Appreciate it. Dude, I know we're so close, buddy. We are so close, guys. Go support my boy. If you're into fishing content as well, we do a little bit of fishing content on this channel. Go check out Fishing with H. Dog barking in this first fight. All right, let's get to it, and then I'll read your guys' comments as well. Please feel free to talk amongst yourselves, and if there's anything you want me to read or address, just comment it again if I miss it. But let's get to the start of the card here. Fun card, although I do think the BKFC card this weekend is the card to watch if you're a fight fan. This one is fun if you're a hardcore fan and for a fight night. Let's start with Jamey-Lyn Horth against Veronica Hardy. And again, shout out to Dan Hardy. Shout out to Veronica Hardy. My goodness. Anyways, Jamey-Lyn Horth, 6-0 as a pro. She is undefeated at a Squamish, British Columbia. I'm literally visiting British Columbia right now. Shout out to the BC native. Undefeated, 33 years of age, up against Veronica Hardy, 7-4-1. Seems to be on a little bit of resurgence now in the UFC, though her last opponent was awful, despite winning the Ultimate Fighter, which means nothing these days, as Brad Katona just did it twice. Anyways, Jamey-Lyn Horth, let's take a look at her resume. 3 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 1 decisions, 1-0 in the UFC, 1-0 off LFA. And one thing to note about Jamey-Lyn Horth is she actually has fought some really good opponents. Again, for women's MMA and for women's MMA on the regional. Look at some of their opponents here. Haley Cohen, 7-2. And if you take a look at Haley Cohen, or 7-3, I guess, my apologies. 5-2 in LFA, was in the UFC, Contender Series win, and actually has some good wins on her resume. Has one good win on her resume as well. 9-3 opponent from Brazil. Probably hits hard. I mean, look at this. Look at this chick. 2 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 4 decisions. And yeah, she's beaten some good competition throughout her career as well. So that's one thing to note about the Canadian here. And she's just a little bit bigger than that of Veronica Hardy. So I'm just swooning, okay? I'm just swooning. It's not my fault. This is the picture that she turned in here. 7-4 as a pro from Venezuela, training out of England. Only 28, despite seemingly being in the UFC for a while. But that's the thing. She took some time off. I think faced some injuries, changed some camps, obviously, or changed up camps. 1 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 4 decisions, 2-4 in the UFC. So not a great look there. Beat Juliana Miller, again, Ultimate Fighter winner, but she was horrendous. Lost to a 1-0 Solecki in 2020. So yeah, almost 3 years off there. Beat Poliana Viana. Again, Poliana Viana at the time was 10-3. That was a good win at the time, but looking at how Poliana Viana has not really progressed since then. It's kind of like the win hasn't really aged well. And then before, got absolutely tuned up in the UFC. Basically, my thoughts on this one. I'm picking the Canadian to win, and I'm not picking the Canadian to win because I'm going with the Canadian. I am well past that. When I first started doing these prediction videos and live streams, I would just pick the Canadian to win every time. But I do think based on her competition that Jamey-Lyn Hoth does have the better chance of winning. She hits harder. Like I said, she has good wins. She's bigger, but she's more of a brawler. She's a little bit more raw. Whereas Veronica Hardy, obviously working with better gyms, dating and having Dan Hardy as her, or I guess married and having her head coach is Dan Hardy, who's, former title contender and challenger in the UFC. And obviously just, his connections there. She's got the better team around her. She is more technical. Obviously she doesn't hit as hard. But yeah, maybe this new version of her is legit. I guess we'll find out. Obviously this is a pick'em. I would say don't bet it. You know my rule, but I'm picking the Canadian to win this one. Again, before we get back to your comments, guys, we're just going to get through a chunk of these and we'll go back to your comments here. But second fight on the card, Wellington Turman against Jared Gooden. This one should be a good fight. Wellington Turman, only 2-3 in his last 5. He is on a 2-fight losing streak, but he looked really good in his last fight. And he seems to be settling in to the welterweight division now, dropping down from light heavyweight. He's the pretty big favorite in this one, -200 up against Jared Gooden at +165. Honestly, like Jared Gooden, this is a good underdog pick. There's a lot of fights on this card where they're close fights. They're close fights. Not quite pick'ems, but a lot of good underdog picks. As Jared Gooden, 22-9 as a pro. He's 3-2 in his last 5, but he lost his last fight. 22-9, not a bad record. 29 years old, in his prime right now. 11 KO, TKO, 7 submissions, 5 decisions. So very well-rounded here. 1-4 in the UFC, 1-0 in LFA. Lost his last fight, unanimous decision to Carlson Harris. Beat DeMarque Jackson. He's beaten guys I just don't even know who they are. Lost to Sangane, PFL champion. In ex-MMA, beat Curtis Millender. Yeah, just doesn't have that many good wins. Was in the UFC, left, and came back. So, he's a fine fighter. Like I said, well-rounded in his prime. He's an all right guy outside of the top 15. Wellington Turman, though, there's a reason he's the favorite here. He's still relatively young, 27. He's still relatively green, yet I think his skills are being polished. They're training at Teixeira's gym. He's training with Glover. He's training his striking with Pereira, and it's getting better. We saw it against Randy Brown in his last fight. 18-7, so not the best resume on paper. 4 KO, TKO, 8 submissions, 6 decisions. Very good grappler, very strong. Was a little undersized for light heavyweight. Boy, he's a monster at welterweight. And again, his striking is just getting so much better under Pereira. 3-5 in the UFC, but I would still say very much a prospect. 4-1 in Immortal. Again, didn't look great against Andre Petrosky. Looked good against Randy Brown. And obviously has, I would say this is a good win in the UFC. I mean, who doesn't, beat Sam Alvey, right? Marcus Perez, 12-2 guy at the time. I think there's still a lot of promise for him, and I am picking the Prodigy to win. I think he's comfortable welterweight. Again, I just think he's getting better and better, and it's evident. I see him getting better and better. I think he's way more well-rounded. Lost his last fight, but it was a good fight. Gooden is fine. He's actually a pretty good underdog here at +165. Turman hits harder, better grappler, younger. Yeah, I think this is potentially a coming out party here for Turman. So I'm picking him to win. All right, up the card we go. Ihor Porterio, and again, we'll get back to your comments after the next one. Ihor Porterio against Rodolfo Bellato. Ihor Porterio, the duelist, 20 wins, 4 losses. Someone in the UFC has been not hyping up, but I think has been hoping to pan out. Rodolfo Bellato out of Contender Series. He's had 2 shots on Contender Series. He made it on his second attempt, and he's just tough as nails. kind of brute force light heavyweight to only 27. I cannot believe it. I thought he was in his 30s. Only 27 years of age. Both of them are only 27 years of age, and he's the massive favorite at minus 455. He's on a 3-fight win streak right now, and he's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Only lost 2. One of those being on the Contender Series. He's a Team Nogueira guy. 6 KO TKOs, 4 submissions, 1 decisions, 4-0 in the LFA. I believe he was the light heavyweight champion in the LFA, 1-1 on Contender Series. Had a great win in his last Contenders Series fight. He ended up finishing the fight in the second round. First round, though, kind of back and forth. I don't know. Like, he's an interesting one because I was super impressed with his fight in the UFC. Okay, I really was. His 2 fights in LFA, again, they were fine. Like, first round knockout, I mean, there's not really much to say. It was good. This one, I would put it this way. I was scared when he came back to Contender Series. I was like, I didn't see what I wanted to see from him against a 15-5 guy. It was just kind of a slog fest out there. But boy, did he prove he proved me wrong anyway, because I'm pretty sure I picked against him here on Contender Series, and he looked outstanding. He lost to Vitor Petrino, who, again, that's kind of aged well in his first Contender Series outing where he lost in the second round. But honestly, in the first round, it was a back-and-forth fight, and he kept eating shots, pushing forward, setting a pace, and that's the thing about him. If he keeps his hands up a little bit and his guard closed a little bit more than he does now and just gets hit less, he's dangerous because he can take a couple, or if he just blocks a couple and just continues to pressure his opponent, he hits so hard. He's tough as nails. He can brawl, and he obviously has nasty strikes off the clinch and is strong enough to take it to the ground if he wants. I mean, he's Brazilian. He was born in a gi and a couple of stripes on his white belt, right? But long and the short of it, what I'm trying to say is, like, he impressed me this first Contender Series, but despite being knocked out, like, that first round, I was like, okay, this guy's good. Looked really good in his return to LFA. Did not look that great in this fight. But boy, oh boy, his return to Contender Series, he was outstanding. Looking at Ihor Potieria, though, I'm not sold on him, man. Yeah, he's got some fancy strikes, right? He's got some fancy strikes. You can tell he's got some kickboxing. You can tell he's got some Muay Thai. He doesn't really have anything else. They gave him a layup in a broken and old Shogun Hua. 1-2 in the UFC. Yeah, he won his Contender Series fight. Big whoop. Carlos Ulberg destroyed him, dude. Negumerianu destroyed him as well. And before then, okay, being 8-0 guy on Contender Series, fine. Before then, 5-2 guy, all right, 11-5 guy, whatever. Before then, cans. Honestly, all of them. Every single one. I'm not sold on him, man. I don't think he has a good chin. I think he has zero takedown defense or really clinch work at all, unless he has employing the tie clinch moving forward. And I think Rodolfo Bellato, especially at light heavyweight, absolutely destroys him. So, yeah, that's my pick. Never really been too high on Potieria. Flashy, but not great. Bellato's going to walk him down and absolutely pummel him. All right, before we get back to your comments, let's get through one more. It's a pretty big card, so I want to fire through these. Steve Garcia against Melquizael Costa. Dude, Costa is sick, man. He's got some flashy striking. He sets a crazy pace. And again, I'm not comparing his striking to Zabit, but in very much Zabit fashion, he goes hard in the paint for the first 2 rounds. And again, he's very, very new to the UFC. 2 fights in the UFC, right? 1 on short notice. Gas is in the 3rd. And again, first fight, kind of a write-off because he took the fight on short notice. Second fight, he didn't completely gas, but you can definitely see a difference in the 3rd round compared to the first 2. Steve Garcia is tough too, so that's the thing. Steve Garcia is not someone that you're going to be able to outpace. I do think Costa's skill level is above that of Garcia, but Garcia's a brawler. Garcia's tough, and Garcia will continue to walk forward, even if he continues to take shots and box. Garcia is well-rounded, but he's not as well-rounded as Costa, and he's not like a wrestler primarily. Like he's gonna stand and strike. The mean machine, that's a great way to describe him. 14-5 as a pro. He's 3-2 in his last 5. He's the underdog at plus 190, 31 years of age. 11 KO TKO. That's what I'm saying, man. He ain't going to submit. You ain't going to try to take this to the ground if he can help it. 11 KO TKOs, 3 decisions. So 11 out of his 13 wins have come via KO or TKO. 5-2 in Bellator, 3-2 in the UFC, 1-0 in LFA, 1-0 Contender Series. What a resume. What a resume. On a 2-fight win streak right now. The last guy beat whatever. And then, he laid a whooping on Chase Hooper and kind of forced Chase Hooper to start learning how to strike a little bit better. Costa, 20-6. Yes, that's right. I'm calling the 27-year-old prospect who has a 20-6 record a prospect. Also 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He won his last UFC fight against Austin Lingo. He's a shooter box guy, but not out of Diego Lima's gym. 7 KO TKO, 6 submissions, 7 decisions. Very well-rounded. 1-1 in LFA, 1-1 in the UFC. Took the fight against Diego Moises on short notice. Got choked down the second round, but in the first round, we were all in awe. So yeah, it wasn't the third round. My apologies. It wasn't the third round that he gassed in that first. I don't know if I said that or not. Oh no, I said that against the Austin Lingo fight where he did slow down the third round. But in this, we got choked down the second. But in that first, we were all just blown away. And I think that he was playing with house money at that point. He was just showing off his skills. Can't wait to see this guy develop in the UFC. And I think this is a great matchup between both of them. Prospect against a somewhat of established guy. I know his record, he's fought less, but a little bit more of an established guy in the UFC anyways. And yeah, I like this one a lot. I'm going with Costa here. He is the favorite at -230. Very talented, very tough. Gas tank is suspect, but let's see if he balances out the pace a little bit more throughout the fight. I think he's the better striker despite Garcia, that being his strong suit. Doubtful this goes to the ground, so that's why I think Costa ends up winning this. Whether it's a TKO, he catches him, whether it's a TKO or he wins via decision. All right, before we move up the card and get to the next bout, let's take a look at some of the comments here, guys. What's up, Denial? What's going on, buddy? Hank the Tank, that's what happens when you have a press conference a whole month before the actual card. Big Ben sick. No, really? Dude, Todd Duffy's just having bad luck, man, because Todd Duffy was supposed to fight in Ryzen. Both of the last 2 Ryzen shows wasn't unable to get a visa, and I was really looking forward to this one. And I was listening to Todd Duffy's interview on MMA Junkie earlier today. That sucks, dude. Igor Diarrhea. What's up, Representado MMA? Your pick's Bellato as well. Nice. That North picture smoking. BKFC's the card to watch. Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, right. Well, now that Big Ben's not on it, it's not necessarily the card to watch anymore. But man, I'm sorry. Mike Perry, Eddie Alvarez. Dude, I don't care what promotion that fight's in. That's the fight to watch this weekend. Fun card, but he got hurt by injuries. Yeah, I didn't know Big Ben was out, dude. That sucks. Costa finish is a good bet, but he can do both KO and sub. Being a Brazilian, obviously, yeah. And that's the thing. He's well-rounded. He's got 6 submissions. Was it 6 or 8 submissions? What was it? 6, yeah, 6 submissions there. I like him, dude. I really like him. I think he's very, very talented. Eddie Alvarez is losing a tooth. Quite possibly. But you know what? If Eddie Alvarez spits out his tooth, you know what he'll do? He'll go, all right, tit for tat, and he'll try to knock out Mike Perry's tooth next, even if it's with an illegal elbow. Anyways, let's move up the card here. You guys are awesome. Smash that like button if you haven't already, and let's keep these predictions going. Don't forget to stick around to the end of the predictions video to hear our degenerate and safe parlay. The safe parlay 2 weeks in a row has hit, ladies and gentlemen, and the degenerate parlay, let's just say I had Beneil Dariush on it. I took him off to further go down the degeneracy. All right, so stay tuned for that. That is brought to you by our friend Volcan, by the way, who's in the live chat. Got to give him some love. All right, next fight, and we're going to highlight 4 more here. Run down 4 more, then we'll get back to the comments, but please don't be shy. Keep them coming. And if you need me to read it live or you want me to read it live, just comment it again. If not, just be patient. We will get to it. All right, next, a ton of lightweight fights on this card, ladies and gentlemen. We have another one here. Solecki against Drakkar. Close. Joe Solecki, 13-3, but don't let his nice record fool you. He's not that good against Drakkar Klose. Now, Drakkar Klose has taken a lot of time off. He's not a consistent fighter. That's what I will say. But he does have a good record, 13-2, and he's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. However, very spread out his fights compared to that of a Joe Solecki and a lot of the UFC roster. Fighting into Glendale, Arizona, 35 years of age. Seemingly not that banged up right now, not injured, which is good. Fights out of Fight Ready, 5 KO TKOs, 8 decisions, no submissions, never lost or won via submission. 7-2 in the UFC between 2017 and 2022. I mean, that's a damn good resume, right? On a 2-fight win streak, beat a 14-2 guy, 5-8, and whatever against Brandon Jenkins, but he did knock him out in the second round. So he had 2 fights in 2022, but he didn't fight at all in 2023. His only 2 losses were to Beneil, Dariush, and David Tamer. Well, we'll just pretend that this one doesn't exist. But Beneil, Dariush, I mean, like, look at that. His only loss at the time, and he was a 6-1 guy, and Beneil, Dariush. And he was undefeated as an amateur as well. I know he's getting up there in age, but he's just a better fighter than Joe Solecki, who is on a 2-fight win streak. Just you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I mean, just look at the 2 guys. I'm kidding. In all seriousness, 1 KO TKO, 8 submissions, 4 decisions. I mean, could Solecki submit him? Maybe, but Klose has never been submitted. And he's never been submitted in his career. You think Klose is going to submit him? Come on. He does have a good run in the UFC, though. Or he has had a good run in the UFC, I should say, 5-1, and he won it off Contender Series. Beat Carl Deaton in the 3rd, whatever. Beat Alex De Silva, and it's not a bad win there. Beat Jim Miller. Lost to Jared Gordon. Beat Austin Hubbard. I mean, just doesn't have the best wins. That's the thing. Like, he's fine. He's not terrible, but he's not great. So I'm going close. Assuming like injuries aren't the reason he's been out for this entire year. I mean, I'm sure they're part of the reason, but like not like the biggest reason. And he's jumping back in like, I don't know, not fresh, a little rusty. Obviously, you're going to be a little bit rusty, but he's more the veteran. Been in the UFC a little bit longer. Good training partners, good gym. Although Fight Ready hasn't really looked good in 2023. I just think Klose is better. He's just better. I'm picking him to win. -135. I think there's decent value there. So yeah, hopefully he's injury free. Joe Solecki, he's good. He's not great. He's nothing special. Klose is just better. Better career, more experience, has knockout power, and is not easily submitted. So there you go. Moving up the card. Oh my goodness. Guess who's back? Back again. He can't be cut. I got nothing that rhymes there. But Cody Brundage against Reese. I mean, you got to imagine Cody Brundage is going to be cut when he loses this one. I mean, if he loses this one. I think this is a good matchup for Reese and Cody Brundage here. This will kind of fraud check Reese. And if Cody Brundage can't beat Reese, then it's going to be like, okay, dude, what the hell? Like, you're cut now for sure. Because Reese, I'm not sold on him. I saw Reese fight, I think 3 times as an amateur. I liked him, but even as an amateur, I had my questions. I had my doubts in certain areas. And then I'm pretty sure he got dropped or got rocked and then taken down in his Contender Series fight. He did snag an armbar early. So I mean, like, props to him. He was good. He's good on the fly. When he's hurt, he knows what to do. So like, credit to him. He's talented, right? He's rangy. He can box if he fucking keeps his hands up. And he's got good wrestling defense and some jiu-jitsu. But he's not great in every area, which is okay as a prospect, which is okay. I was a little worried on Contender Series. I'm going to be honest. I was more worried on Contender Series than I am against Cody Brundage here. But let's take a look at Reese. He's undefeated. He is the pretty big favorite here. 29 years of age, 6-0 as a pro. 4 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 0 decisions, has finished all his opponents. Fury guy, 3-0 in Fury. And that's just the thing. Like, he has 1 good win on his resume. 1. He beat a 6-3 guy via submission in the first round. Beat a 5-10 guy. Like, look at that. And again, he's 6-0, so I'm not going to blame him too much for these, but he's still so young to come into the UFC. What the heck is with all these canceled amateur bouts? But whatever. 3-1 on the amateur scene. He's fine. If Cody Brundage beats him, fraud checked, give him another can. If he loses, cut his ass, send him back to Fury, sort of thing. Hope he does well because I've watched all 3 of his Fury fights, and like I know of him. Am I rooting for him? Sure. There's a little bit of like rooting for him there. Not biased necessarily, because at the end of the day I really don't care. But I'm very much, put it this way, I'm interested to see if he's UFC caliber. And again, it's not the best test against that of a Cody Brundage, but he is experienced in the UFC. God, he's just awful. He's just awful. So this one was overturned, right? So Malkoun did beat him, but it was overturned because of elbows to the back of the head, if I'm not mistaken. Crumbled against Cedric Dumas, lost against Rodolfo Vieira. Oleg Zaitchuk, he's just so bad, dude. He beat Tresean Gore, though. He beat Tresean Gore. What does that tell you about Tresean Gore? I don't know, man. Cody Brundage, whatever. He's the one stain on Factory X. Let's just say that. I'm picking Zach Reese to win, but like I'm not super confident here. Zach Reese only really has 2 good wins. His last fight was okay. It was a defensive submission victory. Cody Brundage is arguably the worst fighter on the UFC's roster right now. He beat the second worst UFC, roster fighter in Cedric Dumas. I kid. That one's for you, JL. This should be a layup for the 6-0 prospect, or like I said, this is gonna fraud check him here. He's rangy, he's got wrestling, he has jiu-jitsu. Zach Reese should win this one, but if Cody Brundage beats him, honestly, if Cody Brundage beats him, I don't care. Just cut them both. Let's get to the next one. Featured prelim, we have Miesha Tate against Julia Avila. And this one's an interesting one. Miesha Tate, she's 37. People are making her out to be like she's like 43 years old. Okay, like she's getting up there in age. She's piled up the losses, especially as of late, going 1-4 in her last 5. A lot of mileage. Been fighting MMA for so long, since before the UFC even purchased Strikeforce. So I get it. She's been around for a while. And Julia Avila, up-and-comer. I know she's 35 years of age, but an up-and-comer as far as she's only 9-2, only had 11 fights as a pro. 4-1, won her last fight out of Oklahoma. 4 KO TKOs, 2 submissions, 3 decisions, 3-1 in the UFC, 1-1 in Invicta. Beat Julia Storyalenko in her last fight. Storyalenko sucks, man. She's so bad. She really is. She's so bad. Lost to Eubanks. I'm not impressed by your performance. Miesha Tate, again, people think she's like 43 years old. She's literally 2 years older than Avila. 19-9. Again, not looking too good as of late. But the one thing I will say about Cupcake Miesha Tate, 4 KO TKO, 7 submissions, 8 decisions, 6-6 in the UFC, 62 in Strikeforce, is look at the competition difference compared to her opponent who we just highlighted there. She's actually fighting the top of the respective division. And now, am I saying Lauren Murphy is really good? No. Am I saying Caitlin Vieira is really good? No, but better than a few of the fighters that Julia has beaten in the UFC. Beat Marion Renault, and before then lost to Pennington, Amanda Nunes, who Nunes retired, but the champ and Raquel Pennington, respectfully, still at the top of the division, never really left there. Again, took some time off in between here. Lauren Murphy fight, it was a close-ish fight, I guess. I mean, not really. Lauren Murphy kind of just beat her up doing what Lauren Murphy does. But what I'm trying to say is Miesha Tate didn't look horrible in those 2 losses, all right? She didn't look horrible in those 2 losses, and I think she still has a little gas left in the tank, especially to beat the likes of Julia Avila. Now, it's women's MMA. Who the fuck knows? Flip a coin. At plus 135, you better believe I'm taking Miesha Tate to win this one. Just based on, again, she's been fighting better competition. She's looked good. She hasn't looked terrible. She doesn't look like she's on, the complete downfall BJ Penn style, you know what I'm saying? And Avila, Who the fuck is that guy? I mean, girl. You know what I mean? Like, realistically, got a good resume. Haven't been really impressed with her last performances. This is, like, who cares about this win at the end of the day? Girl beat Molly McCann. Who cares? Let's go, Miesha Tate. Make us some money here. All right, moving up to the main card here. We have Punahele Soriano against Dustin Stoltzfus. Middleweight bout here. Soriano, 2-3 in his last 5. Interesting. And 9-3 as a pro. So his 3 losses have come in his last 5 fights, going up against Dustin Stoltzfus, who, only 1-4 in his last 5 fights. 31 years old for the Hawaiian. He is the pretty big favorite at -260. Lost his last fight. He is fighting out of Extreme Couture, by the way. 6 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 1 decision, 3-3 in the UFC, 1-0 in LFA, 1-0 in PFL, 1-0 off Contender Series. He does have a lot of experience. His last loss was the freaking Roman Kopylov, so I do not blame him there. He beat Longiambulo. That's actually a pretty good win there, and he beat him via second round TKO. Lost a very close decision in Nick Maximov, which I think he won that fight. He did more damage. Nick Maximov had more control time. What's the criteria say you're supposed to... Yeah, anyways, rewatch the fight. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I think he beat Nick Maximov there. And then his other loss was to Brendan Allen. So I'm just going to pretend that he beat Nick Maximov, just for the sake of the breakdown, because he looked good in that fight and he beat him up. He just got out-controlled, Diaz jiu-jitsu'd. Realistically, the only 2 fights where he lost and got beat, either knocked out or just beat every round. Arguably, maybe he won 1 round, but Brendan Allen, who's a top contender, respectively, in the division, and Roman Kopylov, who is a motherfucker, dude. Roman Kopylov could be future champ someday. He's that good. Coming up, solid, man. Hits hard, cardio, okay, but he will always push forward even if he's like sluggish, right? And has a pretty good chin. I mean, when Kopylov hits you, Chase Hooper on the secret juice, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Dustin Stoltzfus, I don't think he has a fucking chance. I really don't. 14-5, 32 years of age, plus 210. I mean, I think the odds are pretty even here. I can't believe he fought in We Love MMA. That is hilarious. The Finnish promotion. 2 KO, TKO, 5 submissions, 6 decision, 1 disqualification. Yeah, he's well-rounded. He's 1-4 in the UFC, 1-0 in Contender Series. Look, he's just not UFC caliber at the end of the day. It just is what he is. He lost to Abis Magomedov. He beat Dwight Grant, a big freaking whoop, ladies and gentlemen. Lost to Gerald Meerschaert. I like Gerald Meerschaert, so, no shame in that. Lost to Rodolfo Vieira. Lost to Kyle Daukaus, man. Shame in that. Kyle Daukaus looked bad in his Cage Fury FC title fight victory in his last fight, okay? He did beat Joe Pyfer, but again, it was an arm injury. If Joe Pyfer would have fought him again, Joe Pyfer would destroy him, dude. Absolutely destroy him. Soriano, easy money here. Easy money. That's who I am picking to win. All right, let's get to the next one. Oh, man, the Carpenter, Clay Guida. You may not be able to rely on him to make money in your parlay anymore, but you still can rely on him to help put up drywall. He is the Carpenter, Clay Guida. 38 wins, 23 losses. I imagine he's the longest active UFC fighter right now on the roster. Him or Jim Miller. It has to be one of the two. Oh, my goodness. Plus 260 underdog. No surprise there. 41 years of age. 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Up against Joaquim Silva, who, again, this is not the worst job by the matchmakers. You got to give like a can to Clay Guida, or someone who's like just a little bit better than him, someone who he's never going to be champion sort of thing. Silva's actually a pretty decent opponent, all things considered, but the thing about Silva is I don't think he's going to finish Guida. I really don't. I mean, at this age, even the likes of Joaquin Silva maybe could finish Guida. But I don't mind the matchup here. Minus 340. This should be easy money. 34 against 41. I love how much of a dog Clay Guida is, and he's just going to continue to compete until the UFC cuts him, I imagine. And even then, he'll probably continue to still do grappling competitions and things like that. Joaquim Silva, 12-4 as a pro. He's 2-3 in his last 5 as well. 7 KO, TKO, 3 submission, 2 decision. He's pretty well-rounded, 5-4 in the UFC. Lost to Tsarukyan, though he did rock Tsarukyan at one point, which was a little concerning about Tsarukyan in his last fight. Where it was like, Tsarukyan, if you're going to be future champ or at least fight the top of the division, you can't let the likes of this guy rock you. Tsarukyan did end up beating him in the 3rd round, ground and pound. Before then, he beat, who the fuck is that guy? Beat Neil Magny in grappling. Lost to Ricky Glenn, lost to Nazareth Hakparas, beat Jared Gordon. Like I said, he's aight. The Carpenter, man. What a legend. One of the best fights I ever saw live. I wasn't there live, but I was watching when it was live. It was obviously his fight against Diego Sanchez, and he's had so many absolute legendary fights in the UFC. 38-23, man. 5 KO TKOs. Yeah, he's not knocking out his opponent here. 16 submissions, 16 decisions, 18-17 in the UFC. He's still above 500, baby. 1-1 in Strikeforce, 1-0 in the WEC. I believe he was the WEC champ. He's either the WEC or the Strikeforce champ coming into the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. Lost Chase Hooper in grappling, lost to Rafa Garcia, unanimous decision. Beat Scott Holtzman, but really who hasn't? Lost players who knee-barred him pretty easily. Before then, beat Leonardo Santos when Leonardo Santos was on his way out. Beat Michael Johnson, which is just crazy to think about. Lost to Bobby Green. Funny enough, he beat BJ Penn, but BJ Penn was on the downhill. Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for the Carpenter, as you guys know. Like, I'm an old school UFC guy. I'm obviously going to root for the Carpenter, but yeah, Joaquim Silva is going to win this one. Joaquim Silva is going to win this one. Like, both are meh, but I'm picking the better of the two. He's tough. He hits hard. Yeah. I mean, what do you want me to say? I don't think that Silva's going to be out-grappled. I don't think he's going to knock out Guida, but who knows, right? At 41 years of age, maybe Silva does knock him out. He does have 7 knockouts on his career. I think he's more well-rounded, and I say that despite Guida's, it's like how long he's fought in the UFC and fought MMA. I'll be rooting for Clay. He's got some wrestling, he's got some striking, and he's still apparently got a little bit of hair left. So there we go. I'm picking Joaquim Silva, but I'm rooting for Clay Guida, the Carpenter. Before we get to this next one, let's get to your comments here, guys. Thank you so much for your patience throughout this prediction show. The Red Reaper, what's going on? Gotta root for Clay. Absolutely good to see you. What's up, Gun Tote and Granny? Thank you so much for joining. Gonna be burping out to all the other Clays out there. Absolutely. He totally beat Prime BJ Penn, guys. Yeah. The hair's gonna make the difference. Gun Tote and Granny, it's great to see you. Thirsty Thursdays, let's go, boys. What's up, Mitchell Hooper? Good to see you. Guida faked retirement for the to get mic time. Yeah, I saw that. The Commodores building a stairway to heaven. I love Gastelum, but it's worrying that the line hasn't moved. Seems like everyone's on it. It's good to see you, Hooper. What's up, Kari? I'd rather than watch Jamey-Lyn, Vanessa Hardy. I'm actually interested to see Jamey-Lyn. And it's Veronica Hardy, not Vanessa. Come on now. I'm actually interested just because, like, she actually has beaten some really good women on the regionals. My favorite prospect in what league? I have a few. Well in, lad. She's Nozadorov is what you're saying. What's up, Sean? Thank you so much for being an exclusive member. Dumas just had an off night. Give him a year. He's had an off career then. I know he doesn't have losses, but I mean, his amateur fights just are not that impressive, in my opinion. Dumas is rated exactly the amount he should be rated. She's not even anymore all lean. Bring back the cupcakes. Won't the real Cody please stand up? Yeah, Dumas is not underrated, dude. He's not that good. Would be funny if Brundage has a KO win. That would be crazy, man. That would be crazy. He may or may not be in the degenerate parlay. Like I said, I'm going full degenerate on the degenerate parlay of the week, guys. Elbow to the back of the head seems like a dick move. It was, yeah, it was a little bit. It was a little bit. When Arman wins, it will make Gamrot's win look much better. Again, Jay, I don't know what fight you watch. You keep saying that Gamrot destroyed him. I don't even think you watched the fight. I truly do not believe you watched the fight. It's good to see you, Volcan. And Activate A here. The Canucks have acquired Nikita Zadorov from the Calgary Flames in exchange for a 5th-round pick in the 2024 NHL entry draft. I wonder, was that New York's pick? Or sorry, the Chicago pick that they sent, that they sent Bolivia to in a 3rd. Nice. Dude, that's good. Zadorov's, he's a big boy. I like that. Brundage is going to lose. Yeah, probably. Howard Davis is the non-big names, I think, going to put on a show and get the belt. Oh, okay. I don't think he will, man. Eddie seems like it just be trading. Face Lewis was Eddie's heel at the press, so they already have fights to move forward with, and they got Jeremy Stevens now. BKC owner is going to be on his knees like that Connor on his knees meme when he wasn't tough. Mike Perry gets beat. Come on, fellow degenerates. I think he has a fake one. I don't know if they found it. And there's a Gamma destroyed Arman. Close fight. My deepest heart, I know he got lucky. A win's a win. Okay, so you did watch it. Hey, the way you described it, you might not have said destroy verbatim, but you have described it to me as if Gamma absolutely daddied him. What's up, King James? Good to see you. Gamma versus Arman was a sick, rare, good grappling match, and it was a draw to me. I think Arman had 1 round up on him. Yo, Rigo, what's up, guys? Guys, go subscribe to Rigo. Help him get to 11,000 subs. He's so close. Good to see you, buddy. Everyone, treat the like button like it's the back of Cody Brundage's head and pretend your thumb is Jacob Malkoon's elbow. That is an amazing comment. And yes, thank you so much, Rigo. It's good to see you, buddy. Bilal confirmed. Colby put up. Get out of here. Are you serious? You're messing with me. That hair is going to make the difference. Is that actually true, Jail? Or are you fucking with me? I would honestly be more invested if it was Bilal. Because then it would be Isha versus JL for the leading months here. Oh, let's go. Send it in the Discord. Oh, let's go. Let's go. I can't wait, Jill. We're going to have so many fucking sparring matches in the next couple months. Oh, my goodness. I cannot wait. Speaking of degenerates, what's up, Rigo? I will, JL. I will. And everyone's ripping on Leon Edwards. Colby Covington hasn't fought in, 2.5 years? And now he pulls out of the fight. Oh, my goodness. Even Beneil said he didn't want to fight Gamrot again. Gamrot could be at featherweight. He and Dober will take over the world. You guys are awesome. Keep the comments coming. Smash that like button, like Rigo said. And let's keep going. Let's keep going on this card. Sergey beat Tom in the rematch. I love Sergey, man, but Tom, I think, is just on another level. By the way, if you guys want to see some great Tom Aspinall content, a lot of love, kind of, by Rigo, check out his channel and don't forget to subscribe to Rigo's channel, guys. Let's get him to 11,000 subscribers before the new year. All right, keep the comments coming, guys. I'll get back to your comments here in a sec, but let's get through the final few fights on this card, and then we'll get to the degenerate and safe parlay of the week. The City Life Project safe parlay of the week, by the way, has hit 2 weeks in a row, so let's go, baby. And Mike Jones, he's been hitting some draws lately, so don't be afraid to sprinkle some on the draw, guys. Don't ever be afraid to sprinkle those some on the draw, especially if you use the sport. I forget which one he uses now, and I should know. Activate A, you can help. The one he uses, no contest payout or payout like draws. So just saying. Didn't he say it was my bookie? Maybe it was Bovada. Anyways, Activate A, help a brother out. Let's get to this next one. Sean Brady makes his return against Kelvin Gastelum. I like this fight. Sean Brady, 15-1. Lost his last fight to JL's frickin' boy, Bilal Muhammad. Remember the name? I love, by the way, when Ben Davis was like, on his one fight pass. I forget what league it was. Oh, it was Anthony Pettis fight league when he was like, I am joined here with oh yes, I remember his name. Oh, great stuff. JL will say it's disrespectful. I say it's comedy. Shout out to the Bane Ben Davis. Sean Brady lost his last fight to Bilal Muhammad. No excuses there. Bilal Muhammad pieced him up. Bilal Muhammad, the guy who couldn't even finish a one-armed Burns, finishes Sean Brady. What does that say about Sean Brady? A little bit more soy than we thought he was for a Philly boy. Anyways, 31 years of age, minus 135. He's the favorite. That's good value for Kelvin Gastelum, man. 3 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 8 decisions. Again, more of a wrestler than anything. 5-1 in the UFC, 1-0 in LFA. Lost Bilal. Was supposed to fight Jack Della Maddalena. Was supposed to fight Michel Pereira. Now he's going to be fighting Kelvin Gastelum. And again, has been grappling leading up to his Bilal fight, where he actually beat Craig Jones in a grappling competition, which that's legit, man. That's how you know you're legit. When you're an MMA guy who beats the likes of Craig Jones in grappling. And he does have some good wins on his resume. Beat Jake Matthews, Christian Aguilar. Did he finish Court McGee? No, okay. I forget who finished Court McGee. Anyways, he's fine, but he doesn't have those big names on his resume. So his win streak was impressive, but it was like, okay, like, I want to see you fight a top guy. You fought a top guy, and Bilal, wait for it, JL, humbled him. But he's going up against a scrapper, a guy who loves to stand and bang in that of a Kelvin Gastelum. 18-8 record for Kelvin Gastelum. 2-3 in his last 5 fights, but he looked tremendous against that of a Chris Curtis in his last fight. One of the best fights of 2023. I remember after that fight, people were saying, fight of the year, fight of the year. I don't quite think it was fight of the year, but it's definitely in top 10 at least. And I'm talking all promotions. Like, it was very, very good. It was an awesome fight. If you haven't watched it, go back and check it out. Close fight too. I think after watching it, I had it Chris Curtis, but then I rewatched it and I was like, oh yeah, Kelvin Gastelum won this one. 5 KO, TKO, 5 submission, 7 decision. Gave Israel Adesanya his toughest fight before Rob Whittaker and then Sean Strickland. 12-8 in the UFC. That's crazy, man. He's been in the UFC since 2013. That's crazy, man. Lost Kennedy and Whittaker. Took some time off. Looked good. Looks like he's not going to have any issues with the scale. Looks like he's in decent shape. Looked awesome in his last fight. Seems to be relatively injury-free. Now, I know he was supposed to fight Shavkat Rakhmonov. That fight was canceled because he got cut. We actually even did a video on that. He got cut in practice. His training partner landed a spinning elbow in it, and it cut him. So that fight had to be canceled. Now Shavkat's obviously fighting Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I'm going to go with the underdog on this one. On a card where I've been picking the favorites quite heavily, I'm going with Kelvin Gastelum at plus 115. I think there's good value there. Looked awesome in his last fight against Chris Curtis. Way better striker than Brady. That's my only concern, is that Brady might just try to out-wrestle him. Kelvin Gastelum has good counter-wrestling. He can keep the fight on the feet. He's got wrestling in his back pocket anyways, because if I'm not mistaken, that was his base before he became the striker that he is today. Is his wrestling as good today? Is his grappling as good today as a Sean Brady? No, that's Sean Brady's best tool, but I think Sean Brady will want to get some respect back, even if it's just some self-respect back. And I do think he is going to start the fight standing with Kelvin for a bit. Kelvin might humble him quickly, and he'll be like, all right, I'm just going to go with what I'm good at, and whether it's a boring fight or not, we're going to go grappling. We're going to go, a lot of the fight maybe in close proximity up against the cage, some dirty boxing. But I think Kelvin Gastelum primarily keeps it on the feet. I don't think Kelvin Gastelum is going to allow Sean Brady to out-grapple him. And if he does, I don't think he's going to allow Sean Brady to do any damage to him when he out-grapples him. And I think he'll get the better of him on the feet and do more damage. So I think Gastelum pulls this one out, man. I really do. I don't think he's going to get dominated by Brady or subbed. I think Brady's fine, but if you get TKO'd from Pillow Hands Bilal, man, Kelvin Gastelum lands a good combo on you, and it's good night, Jim Kite. Going with Kelvin Gastelum on this one. All right, we'll fire through these 3 fights, get your comments, and then we'll finish off the show with the degenerate and safe parlay of the week. Let's get to the featured fight here tonight, and this one should be a fun. This one's either going to be done in like the first 5 minutes, or it's going to be an absolute, or the first like 3 minutes, or it's going to be an absolute war for 3 rounds, ladies and gentlemen. We got Rob Font welcoming Deiveson Figueiredo to the bantamweight division. That's right, former champion Deiveson Figueiredo moving up to bantamweight here. So not going to be as depleted. Now, will he have the same power that he had when he was lighter? Maybe not. But I think he does, man. I truly think he does. Anyways, Rob Font, he's got the reach, but Figueiredo's actually got some reach as well, man. Rob Font, obviously a little bit bigger than him, but Figueiredo is nasty. 20 wins, 7 losses for Rob Font, 36 years old. He's actually older than that of a Deiveson Figueiredo, 21-3-1. The favorite here is Rob Font. He's coming off a loss where he got wrestle-fucked from Corey Sandhagen. Before then, beat Adrian Yanez, lost to Marlon Vera and Jose Aldo before that, and then beat Cody Garbrandt. So my thing with Rob Font is his last 2 wins have come to guys that aren't, I don't want to say that aren't that great, but they're not the best wins, okay? Now, I like watching Rob Font fight. I think he's a very talented striker. He's got no takedown defense. He's got no ability to get back up to his feet. And if he gets taken down in deep water, it is over. Now, lucky for him, that's not Deiveson Figueiredo's path to victory 9 times out of 10. Deiveson Figueiredo likes to come in and out of the pocket or brawl in the pocket, throw those big shots, those big hooks. Yeah, he leaves his chin out there every now and then, but that's his game. Deiveson Figueiredo, though, also has good wrestling, also has good grappling, and loves to be offensive with his grappling. More than just going for the takedown, going for the submission after getting the takedown, he loves to get full mount and land those nasty elbows and ground and pound because he's just more of a vicious fighter. So I think, honestly, if Deiveson Figueiredo can't outstrike Rob Font or can't hang with him, and Rob Font gets his jab going, and Deiveson Figueiredo can't get in and out of the pocket fast enough and is getting tagged up, that he could utilize his grappling, utilize his wrestling, ground and pound, and absolutely outclass Rob Font in that department. Rob Font, 9 KO TKOs, 4 submissions, 7 decisions. But Rob Font's jab is insane. And if he gets it going, that will set up bigger strikes. We saw that with Adrian Yanez. 10-6 in the UFC, 6-0 in CES. Again, got absolutely out-wrestled by Corey Sandhagen. Beat Yanez, knocked him out. It was a beautiful knockout. Lost to Vera, Aldo. Beat Garbrandt on his downfall. Beat Marlon Moraes when he was on his downfall. Beat Ricky Simon when he was 15-2. Not bad, not bad. Beat Sergio Pettis, the former Bellator champ. Not bad either. Lost to a Sun Sound. No shame in that. He's a good fighter. Lost to John Lineker, but he took him to a decision, which is, great. By the way, John Lineker is fighting Liam Harrison in Muay Thai in one championship coming up. Weird fight. Not quite freak show, but weird nonetheless. The Muay Thai and kickboxing purists will say it's freak show. But anyways, Deiveson Figueiredo lost his last fight to, guess who? Brendan Moreno. Excited to see Figgy fight someone not named Moreno. It's been years, ladies and gentlemen. 9 KO TKOs, 8 submissions, 4 decisions. He is so well-rounded. 10-3-1 in the UFC, 3-0 in Jungle Fight. Man, that fight was going to be so much fun against Beneil Cap. That was going to be such a good fight, but unfortunately, we didn't get to see that one. Lost to Moreno due to the doctor stoppage, obviously due to his eye. Beat Moreno before then, lost Moreno before then, draw before then. Before the Moreno saga of his career, oh my goodness. Beat Benavidez twice, beat Alex Perez, beat Tim Elliott, beat Pantoja. Man, beat Jared Brooks as well. Jared Brooks has only lost once or twice, I believe, right? Let's take a look. Jared Brooks only has 2 losses in his entire career. One of them came to Figgy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Everyone's picking Rob Font to win this one. I'm going Figueiredo, man. I'm picking Figueiredo. I think plus 120. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Bro, we're going to be eating like kings this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say. I think he'll be able to strike with Font for sure, despite a little bit of the size difference and reach discrepancy. I think he's so quick, he'll be able to jump in and out of the pocket. He'll be less depleted. So even if Rob Font, when he's setting up that jab, lands that good follow-up shot, I don't think Figueiredo is going to be knocked out. I do think he's going to have a little bit of a chin here. Figueiredo, I do think he's still going to have power. I think Rob Font is an amazing striker, don't get me wrong, but his last 2 wins, like I said, have been against lesser competition than that of the guys Deiveson Figueiredo has been picking off throughout his entire career. Rob Font also does have power, but I think that, like I said, the chin of Figueiredo, I think it's going to be able to last. I think if it goes to decision, Figue's going to get the better of him. He's just going to be able to do more, mix in the ground and pound, mix in the takedowns, mix in maybe some more dirty boxing. But overall, I think someone gets a KO. I really do. And I think I don't think Figueiredo loses a decision. I think if he loses this fight, Rob Font's gonna knock him out or TKO him. I was watching some other prediction videos. A lot of people think Rob Font's gonna take him out early. I think Figueiredo is gonna surprise this man. At plus 125, I am picking against Figgy. I got the underdog here. All right, 2 more, and then we'll get back to your comments, guys. Keep them coming. Keep talking amongst yourselves as well. And then we'll get to our degenerate and safe parlay. Safe parlay is hit 2 weeks in a row. Just saying. Co-main event of the evening was supposed to be Dan Hooker against Bobby Green, but Jalin Turner, ironically enough, Dan Hooker's his last opponent, taking this fight on short notice. But Jalin Turner was preparing for a fight against Renato Moicano, Money Moicano, friend of the channel. So he was ready to go. I doubt he's going to miss weight tomorrow, although he is a very big lightweight. He does cut a lot of weight. He's going to be fighting Bobby King Green here. And even on short notice, he is the favorite, minus 250. Bobby Green plus 200. Green on a 2-fight win streak right now, dismantling the hype train that was Grant Dawson knocking me on the first round and also submitting Tony Ferguson late. Disqualified, or was it? Yeah, disqualification or against Jared Gordon. Illegal clash of heads, headbutt. Lost to Drew Dober, got knocked out. And took the Islam Makhachev fight on short notice and got submitted in that one. Jalin Turner's on a 2-fight losing streak. Despite getting the better Dan Hooker early in the fight, Dan Hooker, I mean, he is so tough. He wasn't able to put him out. Eating head kicks left, right, and center. Something that if, Bobby Green eats a head kick, he's going down. He's not going to just eat it like Dan Hooker. And then before then lost a close decision to Mateusz Gamrot. The 2 things in that fight, arguably could have beaten Gamrot. I think he did more damage in that one, but he showed he could wrestle anyways in that one, being able to hang with Gamrot as far as the wrestling went. And again, the Dan Hooker fight was an absolute war. So 2 really good showings despite the losses. Missed weight in this one though, but seems to be ready for this one. Bobby King Green, man, what an absolute legend. Hood style, baby. 31 wins, 14 losses. Strike Force, Affliction, and so many more. 11 KO TKOs, 9 submissions, 11 decisions, so pretty well-rounded. Only been knocked out 4 times, submitted twice, lost 8 times. We went over his last 2 wins here. Beat Nasser Akparast, beat Ali Quenta, lost to Fiziev, but took him to a decision. And it was a closer fight than you'd think, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't watched someone, go and check it out. I mean, he's still kicking at 37 years of age. Bobby Green is still in really good form here. But like I said, if Jalin Turner lands one of those head kicks, man, Bobby Green's not going to be able to take it like that of a Dan Hooker. And that's what scares me. So I'm picking Jalin Turner to win this one. I almost picked Bobby Green, man. I almost picked him. I'm going with Jalin Turner. I'll be rooting for Bobby Green just like I'll be rooting for Clay Guida. Bobby Green is my dog. I love Bobby Green. He's one of my favorite fighters on the roster right now. Jalin Turner's ready to fight. He was in camp. He's younger, rangier, taller. The one thing I will say is Jalin Turner's only finished chinny guys. And I wouldn't say that Bobby Green is a chinny guy. So that's something to take into account. Scroll through his resume again on Tapology and you'll see. He's only finished chinny guys and he's rarely finished guys in the UFC. Other than using his spider, tarantula-like arms and choking them out, right? I do think this will be a closer fight than we think. I think Bobby Green will try to mix things up if he wants, but it might be to his detriment if Jalin Turner finds that submission. I don't think Bobby Green's going to get KO'd, But I do think he's going to fight off the back foot a lot, which is concerning because of Bobby Green not setting the pace or matching the pace is a Bobby Green that usually loses a decision or gets caught. So I am picking Jalen Turner, but I'm rooting for King Green. Main event of the evening, before we get back to your comments and the degenerate and safe parlay of the week, Beneil Dariush against Arman Tsarukyan. 22 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, I think, for Beneil Dariush. 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He lost his last fight against Charles Oliveira. We got put out very, very early. He said that he's not one to make excuses. He was awful that night. Off nights, they happen. And he said if the fight happened again, he said this is what I love about Beneil Dariush. He's like, I'm not going to say that I'd win if we had to fight again, but I'd definitely perform better. And he showed a lot of respect to Arman Tsarukyan as well. I mean, who's not a fan of Beneil Dariush, right? He's such a humble and very well-respected martial artist, athlete, and husband, father, and human, right? Arman Tsarukyan, 20 wins, 3 losses, out of Armenia, but fighting out of Russia. So he's got that Armenian blood, but that Russian upbringing. So he's a savage, ladies and gentlemen, an absolute savage. Now, I mean, Beneil Dariush, Persian, grown up in the States. I mean, that's savage as well. I'm just saying. Let's take a look at Tsarukyan here. 8 KO TKO, 5 submissions, 7 decisions, 7-2 in the UFC, 8-1 in Far Eastern Modern Pancration Federation. What a promotion name. Beat Joaquim Silva in his last fight, although he did get rocked by him, like I said earlier. Beat Damir Ismagulov, which, again, that's a very good win. I'm pretty sure served him his second win. Lost to Gamera, but like JL pointed out in the chat, very, very close fight there. Then was on a run before then, beating Olivier Aubert-Mercier. Out-grappled the grappler, who, by the way, OAM retired. Back-to-back PFL season champion retired. Beat Frivola. He's got some good wins on his resume. And beat on Sun Sao. His striking gets better and better with every fight. And he can brawl too. His cardio is insane. His pace is insane. He's so strong. His grappling is unreal. But Beneil Dariush has all that as well. And knockout power. Beneil Dariush, man, was on an absolute crazy run before he ran into Charles Oliveira. 5 KO TKO, 8 submissions. 9 decisions, 16-5-1 UFC. He's been in the UFC since 2014. That's crazy. Before then, fought in Respect in the Cage. Lost to Charles Oliveira first round within the first minute. Before then, beat Mateusz Gamrot, unanimous decision, but rocked him and almost knocked him out. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, if Beneil Dariush lands out on Arman Tsarukyan, I mean, Gamrot's tough, man. Gamrot's tough. I don't know if Arman Tsarukyan can take a shot like that. Beat Tony Ferguson, Diego Ferreira, Scott Holtzman, Drakkar Close, Drew Dober, Thiago Moises. Was on a crazy run before then. This is an awesome matchup, right? This is an awesome matchup. Beneil Dariush at plus 220. Unbelievable odds, right? Like, that is a great underdog at plus 220. Smash that. I may drop a toonie on that while I'm still in Canada here, but I'm picking Arman Tsarukyan as my official pick to win. Minus 270, I think that's a little too much. Like I said, I think Beneil Dariush is the underdog here. That's good value. This is why I'm picking Arman Tsarukyan. And Beneil Dariush is my dog, dude. He's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. But I'm picking Tsarukyan, former hockey player who, when he realized he wasn't talented enough to go pro in either the NHL or the KHL or even like the AHL's version of the KHL. I forget what it is. I think it's the VHL or the MHL. One of them is the junior league there. One of them is the minor leagues. Regardless, when he realized like hockey was his first love, hockey was his first kind of big sport that he cared about. When he realized he wasn't skilled enough to make those leagues, he started gooning it up in hockey. And he realized he wasn't able to, in this day and age, make money being a goon at the pro level, especially, at the highest level in the National Hockey League, that he went and took the fighting route instead. But again, he wanted to be a pro hockey player, which is badass, which is why he's got that dog in him, which is why he's got that fucking tough brawler mentality in him. High-level grappler, and his striking just keeps getting better and better, working on his Muay Thai and kickboxing as well. Does he have the power that Beneil Dariush has? I haven't seen it yet. But Beneil Dariush has that knockdown and knockout power. Beneil Dariush has been able to come back in fights, not in his last fight, clearly, but he has been able to come back in his fights. Insane grappling like Tsarukyan. He's very well-rounded in his own right, and he's got the experience. So this is a great fight, great matchup. I think it goes the distance. I think it's going to be a decision victory for Tsarukyan because I don't think Beneil beats him decision. I think Beneil, if he wins, probably wins TKO, but I'm going with the younger, former hockey player in Arman Tsarukyan. And before we get to our degenerate and safe parlay, we'll quickly go through the comments here. So Solecki got nothing for Chadlar. Close is my pick as well. Yeah, Close is not the underdog. He's definitely the favorite. This Hank is so stupid. Such good value picks I'm making. That's why I don't share my picks in chat. Discord. Oh, Hank's good shit, man. Hank's good shit. Exclusive member. He's a big supporter of us as well. He might just be teasing and playing a little bit Volcan. Imagine Figgy fighting Max or Cater. Never stop. Yeah, that would be crazy. Figgy at 145. He's going to be small at 135. He's Assyrian, not Persian. Yeah. I mean, one of his parents is Persian, so he's Persian. Figgy should be able to compete at 145. One Punch Green. Thug Green by California. Thugness. No Turner lost to Gamrot. Yeah, but it was a good fight. It was a good fight. Figgy smaller size, but I think moving up is going to be a good move for him. He'll carry the power. Yeah, I think so too. Gotta love a good freak. Try to driving through Philly without breathing to avoid stench. Imagine proudly repping Philly. I know. Dash Sean Brady's gym sucks. Stuffs the takedown. Kelvin will be a good fight. Sean Brady basically said he's gonna wrestle. I watched Joe's video of fights, and he said the advantage is clear. He's gonna use it. All right, fair. Ian frozen like House of Gary. Montel Porter, the wrestling manager, that is new mythical fighter, is in good shape. Kelvin Gastelum. What's up, Hockey from home? Good to see you. Yeah, no, it's not a rumor. It is a rumor. It hasn't been officially announced. It hasn't been officially announced. He's gonna fight. Michael Venom Page is gonna fight. We were just talking about it. Freaking Big Mouth. And that's gonna be a good fight, man. That's gonna be a good fight. Colby Covington? Not it wasn't for a while ago. I don't have those bookies, but I think it was that Bovada. Kelvin gonna mess him up. I think so too, man. I really do. Damn right, Bilal is my boy. A lot of fingering, that's for sure. Holland, yes. Big mouth Kevin Holland. I got Beneil finish. Only bet if it goes decision, avoids plus 120. I think Beneil Dariush finish is a good bet. Imagine how bad a Canadian high school kid would knock Arman's teeth out during a hockey game. Probably. Like even like a friggin' what's the junior A league in Ontario? The OJHL? Like probably an OJHL 18-year-old probably could knock the socks off Arman Tsarukyan. But that's the thing, Arman Tsarukyan, if he ever, like instead of going to BKFC when he's done, he can go to Ice Wars. I don't know if you know what Ice Wars is, Rigo. You should make a video on it if you haven't already. I'm actually a little surprised you haven't, dude, to be perfectly honest. Ice Wars is a promotion that is literally a one-night tournament where it's in synthetic ice, in an octagon, full hockey gear, MMA gloves, 2-minute rounds. And if it's tied, they go into a third round. And they just beat the wheels off each other. It's amazing. It's straight up like in Goon. And the first ever event was in Prince George, British Columbia at the CN Center where the Prince George Cougars play. And they just met each other at center ice. Now they do it in the synthetic iceagon. Charles Bennett should have been Charles Bennett? You mean Crazy Horse? He wasn't a heavyweight. Oh yeah, they have skates on. Dude, Rigo, you haven't watched. Dude, I'm not going to lie, Rigo. This is the first time I'm a bit disappointed in you as both a Canadian and a combat sports guy. You watch Slap League and like pump Slap League's tires, but you won't fucking watch, nor do you even know of Ice Wars. Shame on you, brother. I'm sorry. This is the first time I'm disappointed in my brother Rigo, guys. He doesn't even know what Ice Wars is. Come on, dude. Even Americans know what Ice Wars is, man. Come on. Rigo, it used to be on fight.tv. You can still watch the first 2 pay-per-views on fight.tv. Now it's on some new fight app, and it's a little bit more expensive. I do have a friend. I have friends who work at the World Hockey Report, so if you do want a promo to watch it and maybe host a fight companion for, I could probably get you the pay-per-view. But yeah, highly recommend watching it. Amsbury won the first event. 3 fights, 1 night tournament. He's in the LNAH right now, gooning it up still. He fights in the and he also is in the NLL. That's how much of a badass Amsbury is. He in the off season of his hockey league, which the LNAH, by the way, folks, is the Pride FC of hockey. It's this Quebec league where people go to watch fights more than games. Like more than like the actual game of hockey, which is amazing. And there's a Vice documentary on it. Highly recommend going and checking it out. But anyway, so he plays in that league and goons it up. And then in his off season, he plays NLL lacrosse and goons it up and fights Ice Wars. Unbelievable stuff. Dude, it's unbelievable, Rigo. It's unbelievable. We almost did a live stream for it, but I think there was a big UFC event or one event that was going on. Power Slap is terrible. It's not my cup of tea. Oh no, Rio's career is done for sure. Oh, satire. Got you. Okay, got you. I thought maybe you were talking about the other Bennett. Because there's a heavyweight Bennett. Reset him back. Yeah, he fought. He's now like the face of Fight Circus. CTE slap. No, Rigo, highly. You know what? I'm going to pull some up for you here, buddy. Rigo, stick around. Don't go anywhere yet. We'll pull up some highlights here. Before we wrap up the prediction show, though, and I show Rigo and all you remaining viewers a little bit of Ice Wars, then I'm actually going to hang out with Kyle, and I'm setting up Kyle's studio, so Kyle will be able to do live streams, maybe host fight companions, and do more content here on the channel as well, guys. But let's get to the degenerate parlay of the week and the safe parlay of the week, guys. The safe parlay of the week has hit twice. That's right. It has hit twice, 2 weeks in a row. Not twice in total, 2 weeks in a row. So let's start with the safe parlay. The safe parlay of the week, ladies and gentlemen, we are going with number 1. And these are just 3 money line picks on the parlays. We are going with Rodolfo Bellato, number 1 in our safe parlay of the week. There's no way in hell I don't think he gets it done against this absolute can in Pretoria. Number 2 is Soriano. Again, I think Soriano has just ran into some really tough competition. I think Maximov, the Diaz guy, Soriano should have won that fight. He did more damage. I think he absolutely sent Stoltzfus to the Shadow Realm. And third safe parlay, and third pick in the safe parlay, this one was tough, actually. This one was tough. I am going with Costa, dude. I'm going with Costa. That's right. Where the heck is he? Here he is. I think he's super talented. Like Garcia, he's fine. He's not bad. He's a badass striker. I don't think the UFC is going to cut him. I think they're going to keep Garcia in the UFC to fight prospects. You know what I mean? Because he's a very good measuring stick. But yeah, Costa, I think he's the safe pick. He's the safe pick. So Bellato, Soriano, Costa, that's the safe parlay of the week. Guys, I took Beneil Dariush off the degenerate parlay. I went full degenerate. We're going to start off Bobby King Green, Cody Brundage, and you guys know where this is going. And motherfucking Carpenter Clay Guida. Clay Guida, Bobby Green, Cody Brundage. Tell me how much that pays out, dude. If that hits, I'm done. I'm retiring from life, from YouTube. I'm paying off my student loan. I'm never working again, ladies and gentlemen. Clay Guida, Bobby Green, Cody Brundage. That is the degenerate parlay of the week. Smash that like button and subscribe, folks, and I will see you on the next one. Before we wrap up this stream here, I got to show off a little Ice Wars for Rigo. $1 million. Love the super slow-mo video faces getting contorted by the slaps. Power slap, have to roll a 20 side die. That's the crotch sniffer of the LFA. Bring in Kyle Cartman. Yeah, Volcan, do you approve the safe and degenerate parlays of the week? Nah, dude. Ice Wars is the future of combat sports. Ice Wars is the future of combat sports. I mean, I don't think the degenerate parlay is going to hit. But if Brundage wins, you better believe I'm going to be losing my shit. But the safe one, I think, is going to hit. I think the safe one's going to hit. I originally had Dariush in place of Guida. Then I was like, no. We're going full degenerate. We're going full degenerate. All right. Fine. Some Ice Wars. All right, here's Amesbury. Yeah. This shit is truly remarkable. I hope they don't friggin' copyright me here because, guys, I'm pumping your shit. Before you copyright me here, because I know you motherfuckers might do it. I'm pumping your shit. I'm trying to make sales. Rigo MMA has freaking over 10,000 subs, and I'm literally making sales for your pay-per-view. So do not copyright me. Don't be as soy as what's his name, Stoltzfus. Soysfus. I don't know. Anyways, it's like plus 2,800. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, Volcan makes some money, man. Volcan makes some money, Hank. Don't hate. Don't hate. Daddy Deep Dink? Oh man, I might have to subscribe. That is hilarious. All right, check it out, dude. Check it out. I know there's no volume on this one, but like one night tournament, okay? Look at this. How Canadian is this, bro? How freaking Canadian is? You better believe it's on like an indigenous reserve and likely in a casino too. Oh my god. Rigo telling me that slap fighting is the future of combat sports, yet he hasn't watched this, is the funniest shit I think I've heard in 2023. Oh my god. And again, Amesbury, he's an active LNAH hockey player, also NLL lacrosse player. Whereas all these other guys are either old goons in the ECHL or they're still gooning it up. Unbelievable stuff here, guys. Unbelievable stuff. Shout out to Amesbury, Maple Ridge, 2-time winner of the tournament up against Derek Parker, the Sasky boy. God, how amazing is this? This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It really is. Because I'm one, like, for me, like, I'm starting to hate the NHL more every year because it's not as... Same with junior hockey. It's not real hockey anymore. Much like the PFL and the UFC are starting to water down, or continuing, I should say, to water down their prospect or product. It's not Ryzen. It's not real MMA. Not to say this is real hockey. This is definitely a fucking farce, but it's the most beautiful farce I've ever seen. But I'd rather watch this than NHL hockey these days. I'm not going to lie. Oh, baby. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. If this was turn-based, it would blow up. If it was turn-based, no, dude, that's not a hockey fight. A hockey fight isn't friggin', was it Pokemon Blue? Choose your attack. He missed. Fucking Tony Ferguson sand attack, bro. Accuracy lowered. Eye poke. Accuracy lowered. No. This is a hockey fight, brother. I know you're not a hockey fan, Rigo, but still, come on, dude. You're Canadian. This doesn't just fucking send like electric shock of excitement through your fucking veins. Oh my god, like I want to go run through this wall right now and fight somebody. I do, watching this. I want to put the skates on. None of our local ponds here are frozen, but just jump at the Nanaimo Ice Center, and I just want to start scrapping fools. That's just what. Oh god, fuck, let's go, baby. That's what this makes me want to do right now. This is the greatest thing in the world. This is the greatest martial arts. Sorry, not martial arts. Combat sports promotion ever. I'm blowing gas. I'm getting so pumped right now. I'm literally like, I'm tapping my foot. I just want to scrap. I'm going to hang out with Kyle right now. Maybe we spar instead of instead of work on YouTube stuff. He's gone rogue. Unbelievable. Dude, this is better than phone booth wrestling or fancy card jiu-jitsu. I think Veronica Hardy became twice as good with Dan Hardy now. She might have. God, she is just amazing. I am hopelessly in love with her. Her and Zoe Deschanel. I don't know what it is. And those are two like off script. Everyone's like, really? I don't know what it is, bro. Colby's putting the nail in Gary's coffin. You already know he's script writing. God, I just want to see Jeff Neal beat up Ian Gary. 296 is nice. I only chat amongst the combat sports addicts. I want to see Isha vs. Arman in Ice. Oh, dude, Arman would just destroy me. Arman would destroy me. But I'd be down to fight. I'd be down to do it like a friggin'. See this, like we screw a charity boxing match, Rigo. Let's do MMA Twitter, but let's do it in partnership with Ice Wars because we'd actually have the best chance of pulling it off. They actually might want to co-promote with us hooligans. And let's be honest, the path to victory for anyone to upset the big old guru is on skates, brother. I know even like Rigo, you may not be a hockey player, but every Canadian knows how to skate. So we had to do that shit in school for friggin' PE half the winter. Shit, that one of my first ever fights was on the ice at a field trip at the Nanaimo Ice Center, where the freaking PG Cougars play in Prince George. I think just the Prince George Civic Center. But anyways, what fights are on tonight? FFC. Argentine and MMA. It's on Fight Pass. What's up, Pick'em MMA? But anyways, the one night tournament aspect of this is truly incredible. Dude, we should do this first. And like Rigo, you think I'm trolling, or no, you're not trolling, Zara. You think I'm joking? Like I am dead serious. Like I could maybe make this happen. I know the World Hockey Report guys well, and they're very much involved in this promotion. We could make it happen. The Danbury Trashers, they're involved in this promotion as well. Well, the former Danbury Trashers, anyways. I don't know if you watched that documentary. You should on Netflix. Like we could make this happen. Like this could be real. So we should start pitching it to the MMA YouTubers out there. I mean, imagine MMA Joey versus MMA Guru on skates, bro. I mean, it'd be like Dustin Bufflin today on skates. Amazing. Isha versus Pick'em in a 5-round slap fight. I think Pick'em's probably bigger than me, man. Pick'em seems like he's tall and that he like hits the gym more than me. Rigo would call me sus. I've been doing jiu-jitsu. I haven't been boxing or kickboxing. But I'll get on the fucking ice and throw down, man. Rather just react. Well, how about this Pick'em MMA? I suggested we do this. Ice Wars. This is the greatest combat promotion out there right now. One night tournament, MMA gloves, synthetic ice, full hockey gear, 2 2-minute rounds. If it's a tie, we go to a third. The champion, the 2-time champion, Diamond Hands Daniel Amesbury, he plays in the National Lacrosse League and the LNAH. This is what he does for fun in the off season. One night, it's absolutely insane. Gotta love the BC boy beating up the Ontario guys too. God, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It truly is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. God, I love it. Unfortunately, it's not on Fight TV anymore. But anyways, let's get it going. I don't know the owners of the promotion personally, but I know a lot of people involved. We could get, if we could rally the troops on MMA YouTube, we could do this. One night tournament, synthetic ice, on skates, full hockey gear, MMA gloves. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get Ryzen gloves of all gloves too, because those ones, they're just a little bit more thumb room. Okay, you're taller than me. You got a couple inches on me. 10 units, Megalock, Rothwell, Perry. Rothwell apparently pulled out, dude. What's up, Zionist? I still haven't got paid yet, but as soon as I get paid, don't worry. You know what's coming. Fake slap fan. Was busy with work. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. The best thing about hockey for a full hour. Absolutely. It was a good episode, lots of action. Perry's minus 300, or I would have bet him. Guy could get killed with a wrongly angled skate. What? That's what someone told me in the chat. I think he knocks Alvarez out. I hope it just goes the distance. That makes sense. They pulled cash out. Yeah. All right, guys, I got to run. I'm actually heading to Kyle's right now. Let me check my phone. I bet Kyle texted me. Yeah, he said head over whenever. Yeah, I'm going to go help Kyle actually set up his little office so that he can start doing some streams here as well, guys, and adding more stuff to the channel. Bro, I've seen MMA fighting, said he pulled out. Yeah. I've tried to skate, bro. I gave up, fell too many times. You're Canadian, so at least you have a base. At least you have the base. Synthetic ice, it's easier to skate. There's a little bit more traction. I got to watch this back. Great, Diego. Great. We're just wrapping up now, buddy, but hope to see you this weekend, guys. I don't know if I'll be live tonight. I know on the schedule I said I was going to be doing some Argentinian MMA. It depends how long Kyle and I shoot the breeze for. This is the Ice Wars event. I just threw it in the live chat here. I will add timestamps to this predictions video, but I want to say again, big shout out to everyone joining us. Sad news, one championship, Chatri's management will be over soon. Chatri stepping down? Dude, Zions, did you not see the fight? Takeru's facing Rodtang on January 28th. So ready for one championship tomorrow. I'll show you Argentinian MMA. Yeah, one is always fun. Yeah, guys, FFC is tonight on Fight Pass. If you guys want to watch some, I'll probably catch the end of it, and I'll jump live if it's still going on and I'm back home. Yeah, I don't know if Chatri's stepping down. You just said you just said Chatri's management will be over. Son, do you mean one championship? Do they say that every year? I'll believe it when I see it. One championship folding. They say that every year. Thanks for the breakdown, bro. Have a good night. I might join the fights if you stream it. What time do you stream it? If so, probably in like 2-3 hours. Chatri's in bot debt. You just got to stop giving away so many bonuses on this. But we'll get into that later. I might make a video on it soon because the Rodtang and Takeru fight was just announced, and I want to make a video on that, so we'll talk about that soon. That's it for the prediction video. Thank you all who joined us in the live chat. You all are amazing. Smash that like button and subscribe, and I will see you maybe later tonight, definitely tomorrow, maybe late Saturday. I know it's a great day of MMA Saturday, guys, but I'm heading up Victoria with the boys. We're hitting up a bunch of breweries, and I'm filming some content for the Soda Pod and some vlog content for this channel. So we'll be back Saturday evening. So I'll probably jump on stream later Saturday night. And then Sunday, we're going to fit one in as well. Have a great rest of your night. See you guys maybe tonight, but for sure tomorrow. Check out the new videos that are dropping on this channel, and I will see you on the next one. You all are amazing. Smash that like button, subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Go subscribe to Rigo's channel as well. Let's get him to 11,000 subscribers before the new year. Have a great night, guys. See you on the next one. Peace. Yeah.